Hello everyone. So I've got a very good response from the videos lately, and I will be reviewing a lot of engineering colleges, focusing more on engineering because I have an engineering background, and we're going to look at them more from the career and money perspective because we want to look at what is the investment you make, what is the life you get on campus, what is the alumni network you can get, what are the opportunities to network with people from other colleges that you can expect, how does the brand name and the tag help you, what is the expected packages that you can expect, what are the companies and what is the community that you will be moving around with if you go to this college, what are the attendance requirements, and if these are the things that you are looking to learn about or you are looking to find out about, then let's get on to it. Welcome to this video. And before we just go ahead with it, why don't you just hit that like button, because that's gonna help me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And if you can also hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed and it's still looking red, let's try to make it look gray. I think that's what the color which I can describe it as once you click it on YouTube. So if it's looking red, click it, make it gray, and just hit the bell icon too so that we can be better connected, because I will be talking to you a lot about how you can get into the right college wherever you can decide. Based on your parameters, you can take your decision. I'll try to give you more information, and then we're going to look at financial aspects very soon after I've covered a good number of colleges and connected with many of you. I would also like to give you more ideas about how you can start freelancing and investing, because that has also become a very cool and a very popular career option these days. Earlier, freelancing was not that well looked into, but now it is. Now coming to the specifics, if you go to DTU, what you can expect is your total cost would be somewhere around 2.4 lakhs. So the tuition fee for a year is 1.9, but then there will be some hostel fee, some additional fee here and there. So approximately you can say, because it's in Delhi and 85% of the people are going to be from Delhi, by the way. So this is one of the points that you want to take consideration of, that would you want to be in a community or a circle which is very much connected to the Delhi and the lifestyle and the network there, or do you want to have a more pan-India network? Because if you want to have a more pan-India network, then probably BITS Pilani or any of the IITs would be better. If you're looking for a very close-knit culture that you want to be in the part of the Delhi lifestyle, the Delhi circuit, then DTU is the place to be, because it comes under the Delhi state government. So if you're trying to go to DTU, if you're thinking of going to DTU, your expected fee would be somewhere around 2.4 lakh per annum. But one thing good about DTU is it's a very premier engineering college and you can expect very good packages. I'll also talk a little about the culture and how you go, but first thing I want to clarify is the packages. So say if you went to VIT, your cost would be 4 lakh, but the packages that you can expect would be somewhere around 6.5 lakh on an average. If you go to BITS Pilani, your cost of education per year would be 4.5 lakh. Here it is coming to 2.5 lakh, somewhere around that, 2.5 lakh. But the packages here will be better than VIT, slightly lesser than BITS Pilani though. You can say the packages from VIT are 6.5. Here the packages on average that we can see is somewhere around 7.5 lakh. But if you're a topper, the whole thing changes. DTU gives very good opportunities in India, and some of the people are also getting opportunities to work in top tier consulting firms, opportunities to work abroad. So the highest package has gone to companies within India like Atlassian, which has given 50 to 60 lakh also. And overseas, we have seen even packages go beyond a crore. So if you're going to DTU, you're surely not missing out on the best opportunities, which you might think that, okay, I did not go to an IIT. But if you go to DTU, you don't miss out on a lot of that. Coming to the culture and what life is going to be like in DTU, first of all, it is going to be fun. It's going to be very good. Many of the people have given very positive feedback about the lifestyle and the culture and how much fun they're able to have with the other peers in the college. Now, the in time, like in other colleges where there is more strict restrictions, usually is at 9 p.m. In DTU, there is a little bit of restriction, but the in time is like 11 p.m. It's still a little bit lesser of a restriction if you compare it with say NIT Trichy or VIT University, where the in time is like 9 p.m. But in BITS Pilani, if you look at that, the in time is not there. You can be out on the campus at any time. So you can say restriction is there, but not as much as VIT or NIT Trichy. If you want to, and we've already discussed that 85% of the people will be from Delhi, 15% will be from outside. So the community and the network you'll be having will be very much pro Delhi like. Now, when we say from Delhi, it usually means that either you should be native of the place and you should have done your schooling there, or you can prove that you've done your schooling from there. Ideally, what we'll look at is, okay, you have been born and brought up there, or you've done your class 11, 12 from Delhi. So if you can prove that, that means you're part of the 85% that can take an admission in DTU. Now, the food there, one of the problems which people have in most of the colleges, which are usually not the private colleges, is that in government colleges, the food they usually don't prefer. But then again, it goes to the individual preferences. However, in DTU, people have said that comparatively the food is better compared to say NIT Varangal. You would have better food in DTU, and a lot of people compare NIT Varangal, Trichy, DTU, BITS Pilani. That's the usual circuit. So I'll continuously try comparing with that. I'll also try comparing with Jadavpur University. So Jadavpur University will have maximum crowd from West Bengal. Most of the people would probably be from Calcutta, say for example. In DTU, you'll have most of the people from Delhi, right? What is the difference here is that in Jadavpur University, your cost of education will be very low. Just 40,000 for your whole 4 years. And rest is, if you're spendthrift, you spend on other things. But your cost of education is just 40,000 rupees for 4 years. 10,000 rupees for your education or tuition fee. 30,000 rupees for your living costs. The main cost you'll have is just the mess fee. In DTU, your total cost per year is around 2.5. So you can say 4-year cost of engineering would come somewhere around 11 lakh. 10 to 11 lakh, there'll be some hike, right? So somewhere around 10 to 11 lakh. They have one more thing which is very much appreciated, is that their open air theater is remarkable. The events they have, the fest they have, the celebrities that come on campus, usually the open air theater becomes the place where these events happen. And that OAT is remarkable that they have in DTU. It's one of the best that you can find in the country in terms of the colleges that are there. It's too good. Of course, BITS Pilani is also starting to have one which is world class. But DTU also has an amazing one. Another unique factor which has come in DTU is that they're trying to relax things. And earlier also, the culture in DTU was not very heavy. So for example, if you went to Triple IT, the culture would be very heavy work. If you go to VIT, very heavy work. You have to work a lot because you need to get the right CGPA, and it's very competitive. A lot of students are also there and there is restrictions. If you go to BITS, there's high competition. Of course, you can explore anything. You're very free, but the competition is still very, very high in case you want to have academic achievements. If you want to have other achievements like doing a startup and stuff like that, then of course you will get a very good leverage. A lot of people who want to pursue other fields, I know musicians who came to BITS knowing that I want to do music. I know videographers who come to BITS to explore the culture, to build a network, but they went back after 4 years to be a videographer, and many of them are famous now. So of course DTU is also one such college. If you're going there, you can definitely explore as many things because the culture is not very, very strict. There was 75% attendance is still there, but it's not followed as much, and nobody's going to penalize you or block you from giving exams if you have a 73% attendance. But I'm not saying you don't attend. I'm just saying that if you have any other ambitions, you can feel free, a little bit more free to pursue that. The other thing which has become a little tough, which was not as tough earlier, is that the internal component on campus. So earlier, the component of internal marks which you have from the daily classes was very low, say 10%, somewhere around that was the internal component, and rest was the exam. So you could have been a little bit more relaxed, but now the internal component has become somewhere around 25%. So you have to attend classes a bit more. You have more incentives to attend classes. However, the culture in DTU is very, very supportive towards you exploring anything. The clubs, the departments, all of them, including also the technical clubs and departments, is very good. Another unique thing that you have in DTU is in the fests. Now, they have a cultural fest, a tech fest, a sports fest. But the unique thing is they also have a literary fest, which you won't find in most of the colleges. DTU has this unique aspect, and that's why a lot of people from DTU, even the alumni, have also emerged as writers. So you look at how the impact of fests also results in the changes in college life and perspective for the students, where it can enable you to become a writer because there's a literature fest happening. And so if you have an ambition of becoming a writer, DTU can also be a place where you can explore that hobby, or that as a side hustle, or that as a professional thing also, which you may do because you will get the right network of people who are in the literary circuit. So specifically, if one of you have that hobby, or if you know someone who has that hobby, you can tag that person in the comments or share this video with them. That DTU can be a good place for you to hone that talent, build up that talent, find the right network or like-minded people for that kind of a talent. Another thing about DTU is it's at the edge of Delhi. So if you're thinking that, okay, it's going to be somewhere very near to your house in Delhi, that's not the case. It's going to be, you can say the nearest hangout place would be somewhere near GTB Nagar or Kamla Nagar. In case you are from Delhi, you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, the college is a little bit far off from Delhi, and in the place outside might not be that happening. The college inside definitely is pretty good, and you would love to hang out in the college. So that's one of the factors that you might want to look into. The other aspect is that the academics. Now, if you go to triple IT, the academics is going to be super heavy. If you go to VIT, the academics is heavy. But in DTU, they have a good balance. It is going to be not that heavy. It's focused. It's very focused, the academics, but it's not going to be that heavy. So even if you want to pursue, say, building your own startup or your own hobby or be a writer, right, you will be able to explore that a little bit more flexibly, and coupling that with the slightly lesser restriction in timings, coupling that with the slightly easier fee structure that you have, because you're not that heavily invested in the college compared to VIT or BITS, you will have a lesser cost of education. So you definitely have more maneuverability because you have bigger savings in your overall at home. So you can use that also as a pile of money which you can use to take a risk. Now, in terms of the fest, one more thing is there, that the biggest fest, of course, is IIT Delhi's Rendezvous. That's the biggest fest in the Delhi circle, and it's amazing. Rendezvous is an amazing fest. A lot of people, I've also attended it. I used to travel from Pilani to attend Rendezvous. But the second biggest fest, if you're talking about in Delhi, it's ENGI NG Fest, they call it. And this is, you can say, the second biggest fest, but it definitely is equally happening. Very, very happening fest. So if you're from DTU or if you're somewhere near that circuit, this fest might be something you want to Google about or figure out about, and so that you can go and try it out. So yeah, they have a unique literary fest. They have a very strong cultural fest. Now, talking about the startup culture, because that's one of the things I like to talk about, and the notable alumni. Before I go to the startup culture, let's talk about the notable alumni. Of course, the honorable mention, Sushant Singh Rajput. He is an alumni of DTU. There is Vinod Dham. Vinod Dham is somebody which maybe you don't read about or find out about as you are a kid, but Vinod Dham is somebody who has done such amazing work. I would recommend you to even pause this video and go Google Vinod Dham. Such an amazing person who has also worked in the core stream that he studied. So a lot of people these days are doing things which are in 10 other streams because there's so many other opportunities also. But this is one person, of course, a very old alumni, who stuck to the core field. And Vinod Dham is the father of the Pentium processor and right now an entrepreneur. There is also the famous Vijay Shekhar Sharma, who's the founder of Paytm. So you definitely have a good startup network with such strong alumni. If you have even one alumni of somebody who's built something like Paytm, that means you already have some inflow of that network happening. So the startup culture in DTU is there. Okay, there's also one more company, Food Panda, and the alumni from DTU, Rohit Chada, is the founder of Food Panda. So that's also one company you can study about. People in Delhi are very enterprising. You can also see that there are so many tech startups and unique startups which are coming up in Delhi. It has an amazing opportunity which you have locally also. So if you are from DTU, you can just go outside and within Delhi you can explore so many tech startups. There is a very strong alumni network. The other thing is, if you are from DTU, and I've recruited, as I said, people from so many different colleges. If you are from DTU, there's a very high chance that your resume is going to go through. That is how well respected DTU is. So if you're going to DTU, don't worry about not getting a call from companies. That you definitely will. And definitely, if such good startups and entrepreneurs have come out of DTU, you have such a strong alumni base supporting you. This is definitely one of the colleges, because of the lower fee also compared to the other private colleges, you can go for if you are looking to do your own startup, because you save a lot of money and save a lot of capital. In talking about the companies that come on campus, of course, I've told you about Atlassian. Atlassian is also one of the companies which makes products or say tools which many of you as engineers, like I use Jira or Trello or Confluence, which are all Atlassian products as a product manager. And that is also some of the tools that you guys would want to use in the long run. And many of you get placed in Atlassian right from DTU. One of the best placements on your campus happen in Atlassian. So definitely read about this company and try to build up skills around their products if you're going to DTU. Don't think that those senior level skills are things you won't need. You can even develop it today because you have a laptop. You're watching this video, open another tab, see the tools. They are also going to help you a lot in your personal life. I've also made a video about how I use Jira to improve my productivity in my personal life, which you can check in this channel. I'll see if I can also put a link to that in the description. So these tools are very good for engineers overall. Also, coming to the other companies that are coming on campus, there's Goldman Sachs, there's Google, there's Apple, Microsoft, Adobe, Samsung, Paytm, of course. So you definitely can see, I think Food Panda would also be coming, right? So you definitely can see a strong alumni network as well as a strong, founder network who are alumni. So in general, a lot of your people or seniors from your college have gone to such companies and left a great legacy. Plus, you have so many founders from a company of big companies who definitely would have some knowledge about what the culture of DTU is, and you can expect yourself to have some good growth. I hope I've been able to clarify what are the pros and cons and giving you some insight about the hostel life and what things are like. Also, do try out the tools that I've told you about. Apart from your engineering education, if you can do this, that's also a great thing. If you're on campus, then also this is a good thing to try out. I've also been able to I hope that I've been able to give you a comparison of how DTU versus VIT versus BITS and what's the scenario like. And definitely a great college if you can make it into DTU. And if you do, congratulations, because you can expect a bright future ahead. See you in the next video.